Seth, what did you feel like moving home down the stretch there? You guys missed your final 7 shots.
We missed the final, I just think we over-dribbled a lot throughout the game. I just had a lot of silly turnovers, which Pitt definitely executed on. So, I feel like we take away half of that. Take away half of our forced shots that we kind of forced up from. It was over-dribbling, just the ball just being stagnant, whatever it was. Take that away, half that away, and it's a different game.
So when you talk about the over-dribbling, what do you think leads to that? Like, what breaks down in the offense to make you feel guys just...
Yeah, we'll have our primary and second actions, and we'll have our primary and secondary actions, and then I think we just maybe rely on one thing too much after that, and it's really just as simple as that.
So if you guys are up 4 with 6.5 minutes left, they outscore you 14-2 to close the game. This has happened a lot this year. How do you wrap your arms around something like that to kind of understand why it happens so often?
Continue to watch film, continue to hear, what our coaches are telling us, because what they're telling us, if we can translate it into the game, come crunch time and whatnot, we can win these games. But I don't know, maybe there's just this barrier with us right now. I don't know what it is, but we got to figure out how to translate what we learned here in the film room to the court, because, like I said, it keeps happening over and over again.
Seth, apologies if this has already been asked. Just got down here, but Pitt started switching screens in the second half, switching everything. How did that affect you guys offensively?
I don't know. It probably made our ball movement more stagnant. We had to force a lot more tougher shots in the second half. And like I said, we just started over-dribbling because we saw they were switching, and we just kind of tried to do too much one-on-one, leading to late shot clocks, late forced shots, whatever it is. So I guess it threw us off. I didn't really realize.
Is it a matter of over-dribbling or not dribbling with a purpose?
That's what over-dribbling is. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, not to give it.
Yeah. No, it's a great answer. You're standing in place dribbling instead of
over-dribbling is not dribbling with a purpose. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
How does that
I'm sorry.
How does that get rectified? Is it just a matter of having certain sets and staying in the set, or the actions, or how do you guys fix that?
Having certain sets, but then just not shutting down after our set goes down. Just continuing up our ball movement, continue to set go screens. We did that, and that worked a little bit today. Just continue to be active off the ball. We just sit and watch somebody. That's part of the reason why the ball gets stagnant. I can't blame it on just the ball handler, because we're just sitting there watching somebody. So it's on us too.
Jeff Capel noted that they to try to negate what you guys were doing in the first half, they left their bigs on you guys on the perimeter. What did that do, and how did you guys need to adjust to that when they did that?
When they left their bigs on us?
Yeah.
We tried to attack him more. I feel like it helped us out a little bit. Sometimes it didn't, but I don't think that played the biggest effect on what went wrong in the second half.
Does it make it particularly frustrating, Seth, when you see how you guys did fight on the boards? You out-rebounded them by 10 without Jay Wash out there. Does that make it this one harder to sort of digest when you know how active you were in that area?
Absolutely. We know if we take care of the boards and we can do that, we know we put ourselves in a good position. So to do that means that we did something terribly wrong in the other hand. So whether it was turning the ball over and them executing off of it, being stagnant, whatever it was, but that's something that we always just push on each other to get into the boards and out-rebound another team. And we always want to beat 10+. So we hear that today. That's kind of shocking. That's really shocking that we end up losing by that much.
How quickly are you able to turn yourself towards Saturday with such an important game ahead of you?
It's got to be right now. That's our rival, Duke. Top 2 team in the country right now. They got incredible players. We want to sit and mope around about this loss. It's not good. So the second we leave this arena, our heads have to be towards Duke. What we need to do to go on camera and get a win.
So you guys had a 4-game stretch of 4 consecutive wins. These last 3 losses in 4 games. Just what do you think you played a lot of close ones, obviously, but I guess what do you think's kind of changed in the last 4?
I don't know. I know we haven't shot the ball as well in these last 3/4 games. I had a terrible shooting night. I made 2 or 3 more shots. Maybe it's a different game. Whatever the fact is, I know we haven't shot the ball as well, but I really don't know. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
You were up 10. Pitt kind of goes in a flurry. I guess what kind of kept you guys from holding that lead going into
I had 10 turned the ball over 2 times in a row that led to them capitalizing off it. Led to 2 threes, and then that's why we went from up to going to the halftime.
Okay, how do you wrap your mind around the fact that you guys again lose a close game, that you lead late and the other team closes on a big run?
It's kind of just like the same movie over and over again at this point. Just like not executing and not finishing plays, like kind of just like stupid plays here and there. And when we had the lead, and like one little mistake leads to another big three or a big play by the opposing team. So it's kind of just like the same thing over and over again that at this point we just got to eliminate.
Seth was talking about too much dribbling, because when the set breaks down, you guys just kind of get into stand around mode and somebody's dribbling, trying to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
How simple is that, or how difficult is that to fix, given the fact that you guys are 22 games in and that's still happening?
Well, I think, for Pitt, they were in like a 15, so they switched 1 through the 5, and we were trying to just get a mismatch with the 5 and then set goal screens. And I think sometimes we did a good job of doing that, but then other times it got a little bit too stagnant, more times than we needed. So we'll look back at the film and then correct what we need to correct and then move on to the next game.
How much did you think Elliott's foul trouble sort of slowed you guys down? Because it seemed like when he was running the show, things were going pretty decently sometimes, but the fouls kind of kept forcing him out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Elliott's a big part of our game plan, and he does a good job of kind of just getting guys in the right spots and finding them. So that's just, just wasn't him in the foul trouble. We had a lot of timely fouls as a team that kind of affected our momentum. So we just got to do a better job defending without fouling. So yeah.
What was Coach Davison's message after you guys?
We just got to stay together, and we'll talk more about it when we get back to Chapel Hill.
RJ, how hard is it to move on to Saturday, such a big game after a difficult game like this?
I mean, it's hard because yet again another game that we should have won. But obviously we know what's coming Saturday. It's a rivalry game, so we gotta use this as motivation and kind of just see what we did right, see what we did wrong, and then go into Saturday with a sense of confidence and positivity at the end of the day.
That rivalry game has changed your season in the past. Obviously, 22 going to Duke and doing what you guys did changed everything. Can you look at it like that?
Yeah, I mean, for 100%. I mean, how I'm looking at it is just another opportunity and another game where we can put ourselves in a good position moving forward. And Duke's a really good basketball team, so we have to come ready to play. So, I mean, that's just the main message as of right now.
What went into you guys' plan that got you so many open looks for 3 in the first half, and what changed to get you guys out of that in the second?
They were switching, so whether that was be a ball screen or a goal screen, kind of just get the defense confused a little bit. So I think that allowed me to get some open looks in the first half. And I was able to confidently just knock them down.
RJ, thank you.
Thanks, RJ. Appreciate it.
We capitalized on, like guys turnovers. I don't remember the exact number of points off turnovers. 22 points off turnovers.
14 turnovers.
Yeah, just how, I guess, even the timeliness of the turnovers. I mean, how much do you think that kind of changed the tide of this?
I do. I think the turnovers were costly. I think the time of the turnovers were costly. And I think the conversion of the turnovers, I mean, that's almost a pick six every time you turn the ball over, you're scoring. And so, very difficult to withstand something like that.
Some of the guys were saying that sometimes the over dribble, on
Yes.
offense, and just what do you think kind of leads to that, and just what kind of leads to, I guess, guys just kind of over dribbling and play stalking out like that?
Well, one of the things that we talk about all the time is 0.5 mentality on the offensive end. As soon as you catch it, shoot it, pass it, or drive it. We never talk about holding it or over dribbling it. It's those are the things that we talk about on the offensive end.
You guys were up 4 with 6.5 minutes left. They outscore you 14-2 to close the game. This has happened a lot. How can you characterize the differences or the similarities in these different closes by opponents?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can lump all of them together. I just, we had costly turnovers, but we missed 3 or 4 layups. I mean, we had shots around the rim that just didn't go in. That would have tied the game, put us up by a couple, and so we had 3 looks at the rim to tie it within 2 minutes to go, and just weren't able to convert.
What is the level of frustration when it continues to happen?
I think it's a combination of a number of things. There's frustration, disappointment. I think it stops there, and I think it has to stop there. Our next game is on Saturday, and we've got to find a way to get better in that area, especially in late games. And not just late games, throughout the entire game. We talk about down the stretch. I don't know how many points we had, but we had a lead in the first half.
Up 10.
Yeah, we're up 10 in the first half. So that's a common theme. Same thing against Stanford. Same thing against Wake Forest. We have leads, and then we go into halftime, and we're only up by 1 or up by 2. I can't remember how much we led in the second half. It's just 7. Yeah. So, and one of the things that we always talk about is, we can get there, but can we stay there? With that level of attention to detail and consistency. And so, I wouldn't point towards just the end of the game. I would say throughout the entire game, where we've done a good job of building a lead, and then we have those stretches throughout the entire game.
You guys,
Just hang on. If you want Elliot, he's heading out, so grab Elliot right now too, please.
you guys had a really good
Keep going,
rhythm
Coach.
shooting around the perimeter in the first half. What changed that got you guys out of that rhythm, or what did you guys need to do better to maintain that throughout the rest of the game?
Well, defensively, they switched up and started switching everything on and off the ball. And so when teams do that, they make you play one-on-one. And as I referenced before, I felt like instead of, moving the ball, I felt like at times we tried to attack maybe a little bit too quickly, off those switches. But, you got to give credit to Pittsburgh, and then Austin had 5 blocks. He's a perimeter player and had 5 blocks, and I don't know how many of them were on jump shots. And so, sometimes individual or an opponent makes better plays than you do.
Hubert, in your opinion, what do you think Elliott still needs to learn about playing with fouls and not committing more? I've seen like his foul trouble tripped you up some in the second half, because when he was in, you guys were crisper, it seemed like.
Well, I think I wouldn't characterize it in regards to a specific player. I would say our foul troubles 90 feet away from the basket, those types of fouls,
Yeah.
they may seem little, but that's one towards the penalty. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And so that gets a team towards the penalty. So that's been another thing. We lead the ACC in free throw attempts and free throws made. And we lost the battle at the free throw line, in large part because Pittsburgh in both halves were able to get into the penalty because, we had unnecessary fouling.
Hubert, how do you keep these guys together, spirits up?
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, that's easy.
Is it?
I think I do. I mean, what choice do you have? Yeah, you do. I love these kids. I love this team, and it's a great lesson for this group and this team. And it's a great lesson for life, and I really believe that there is no choice. The choice is to get back up and step forward and continue to competitively fight and prepare and continue to improve. I just don't even think there is a choice.
Do you look at it like we're close over and over again in these late game situations, or do you more look at it like we can't find a way to close it out outside of Boston College?
Yeah, again, I wouldn't look at it in late game situations. I would characterize it for the entire game. You said we're up by 10 in the first half. It's those stretches, and we have a thin margin for error, and those stretches throughout the entire game, really hurt us.
Hubert, we've all seen rivalry games change a team's focus, get them really together. To an extent, we saw that with you guys in 22. What happened at Cameron seemed to change the whole season. Do you look at Saturday as an opportunity for this team to really lock in and get moving in the right direction?
Saturday is we'll prepare, we'll practice, and we'll play with the same type of competitive enthusiasm that we played with tonight. You know, I don't believe in one game being more than. I think every game is a Super Bowl, whether it's a preseason game. I just anytime you get a chance to step out there on the floor, you should be ready to go.
One more, most of these guys, you're going to get them again on Thursday, and it's midnight. So,
How close was Jalen Washington to playing tonight? I mean, he warmed up some.
Yeah, he wasn't close, but he's improving fast, and we were really scared because of the history of his knee and what was going to happen, and everything came back negative, and he's improved dramatically every day since the Boston College, but he wasn't ready to play. He didn't practice the last couple of days, but he's improving a lot every day.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Thanks.